Let's talk about teams in crisis. Now, we'll discuss West Ham a little later. First up, Manchester United, who we know under Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, it's been chalk and cheese from when he was temporarily in charge to then being given the full-time job, and it hasn't quite gone to plan. So they've lost 3 of the last 4 in the Premier League. You got a 6-0 win against Tranmere. What does that do in terms of the pressure building on his shoulders?
Well, I don't think the FA Cup win necessarily eases the pressure that's there. If they lost, clearly that would have increased it enormously.
Yeah.
So that's one sort of banana skin out of the way, if you like. But underlying the problem at Manchester United is deeper than that. And I think, you roll it back a year. He was appointed December on a caretaker role until the end of the season, and then they were going to review it. And a lot of talk about Pochettino, and Solskjaer wasn't going to go anywhere. He was just happy to be there, and he said happy to be there and review the situation. He wasn't pushing for it. Had an amazing run, wasn't it? 11, 12 wins, a great sequence of success.
Rio Ferdinand was saying, give him the contract, sign it now.
Yeah. And they did. And you sort of think, well, why did they do that?
If something is going to give for you and something's going to change, what will it be?
I don't know. It's a difficult answer. I think it's more problems inside the club. And for me, it's a shame to see United in this position, It's, to see that club going to Old Trafford is not the same like 15 years ago, 10 years ago. I grew up watching all these great players from Manchester United, all this class 92, and it's nothing like that anymore around the club, Ferguson created and built an unbelievable world-class brand and football club. And now they're just falling apart in every single part in the team. Manchester United need world-class players, big players, and also they need to develop more English players from the academy. They have to do something really to bring back the spirit of Manchester United.
What does West Ham mean to you?
A working class, medium table club in the Premier League.
Medium table?
Yeah, medium table.
Okay.
I grew up seeing West Ham with a great atmosphere in the stadium. For me, West Ham fans were one of the best atmosphere in English football.
And I think the fans would say the same thing as well. They so many fans haven't really accepted the move and still hanker for the old days of Upton Park and that sort of, as Rodrigo said, the atmosphere, always worth a bit of, like the 12th man, they say, don't they? That sort of hostile atmosphere, intimidating. So they've lost a lot of that. But on the footballing side, it's
But that perception of someone in their 20s of West Ham is far removed from those in their 50s who remember, the Hammers being the Academy of Football, providing obviously England with some of their star players to go and win the 66 World Cup.
I mean, there were 2 sort of great eras. There was the 60s when they won trophies, European trophies, FA Cups. Moore, Peters and Hurst, big part of the World Cup winning team.
And they joke about
Rio. And then the second generation.
Joe Cole and
great players coming to Rio Ferdinand, Lampard, Carrick, Defoe, Nicole.
Defoe's still scoring, by the way.
It doesn't seem... maybe he could do a job at Spurs. But they're miles away from that now. I mean, they don't seem to be bringing through any great young kids. There seems to be a lack of structure.
Yeah.
David Moyes has come back, like you say, but he hasn't been given the support with his backroom staff. I think he just brought in Alan Irvine, but he hasn't brought... He wanted to bring Stuart Pearce, but then he was persona non grata with the owners. So, you do wonder if there's... They've spent money. They've spent a lot of money, but whether they've spent it well. Your countryman, Chicharito, was there, wasn't he?
He left, he didn't play.
Hardly played, didn't score many, did he? Didn't really work.
But that's the point, isn't it? They've gone for players who they're on their day players.
Yeah.
The likes of Felipe Anderson, Manuel Lanzini, who are technically very, very gifted.
Yeah.
But you can't put your hat on them delivering week in, week out. Now, if David Moyes had Marko Arnautovic to turn to provide the spark, who's he got in this current squad to do likewise?
Not many. I think Anderson is the key player for them.
He's injured at the minute.
Yeah.
And Lanzini as well. These two, they are the most creative players for West Ham. And if these 2 players they don't really turn on, they have problems.
And there's also a big difference between players like that, really good creative players, in a team that's pushing for the top 4, say like a Wolves.
Yeah.
And players who are struggling against relegation. I know it's a cliche, but you want battlers, players who roll their sleeves up and get stuck in a bit. You know, maybe Mark Noble of a few years ago was that sort of player, but he's not really. You know, he's getting.
By the way, his comments were unbelievable. Did you see them after West Brom? He turned around, he said, "Look, I'm 33. I think he's 33 now." But he said, "I wasn't meant to be playing in this game." Yeah. They have to stop relying on someone like me coming off the bench to change
players.
things around. He said things need to move on. And in the 10 years under this current ownership of Gold and Sullivan, it just feels like they have so lost their way.
Well, they've sort of, they certainly haven't gone up. They've been treading water.
But now it's
slightly,
gone. Yeah, but now it's
slightly. Declan Rice would be the one maybe that you'd hang on to. But how long's he going to be hanging around? You know, he's wanted by other clubs, isn't he? And his form seems dipped. You know, and if he sees that, he's going to be thinking, well, if Manchester United want me or another club, maybe he's going to go as well. So I think it's a very bad situation at West Ham. I know a lot of fans are very, pessimistic about it.
Yeah.
And David Moyes may just about do enough to save them, but they've got to think about. I think they need to think about the structure of bringing players through, having a team, a settled team that works. So bring in the creative players when you've got them, but you can't just. It looks like they're bringing players in piecemeal and it's not working. So gloomy times ahead.
Yeah, gloomy times, worrying times. Not quite sure the direction of both West Ham United at the bottom of the table and Manchester United towards the top end. What do you think needs to change, if anything needs to change, at either of those clubs? Do you agree with Gerry or Rodrigo? Do you have ideas of your own? Post them in the comments section below. Don't forget, this is available across all of HaytersTV social media channels, which is Instagram and YouTube, amongst many others. For now, from me, Gerry, and from Rodrigo, thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.